It's late in the day of Saturday, March the 22nd. There's a big breaking story and it has an associated conspiracy theory, so let's get straight to it.
Pompey Sound Update. The latest from Fratton Park. On the hour, every hour. Fueled by Piglet's Pantry. Why not treat your mum this Mother's Day with a fabulous afternoon tea delivered straight to her door? Click pigletspantry.co.uk to order.
And use the code Pompey Sound when you order and you'll get a 15% discount.
Pompey striker Cassini Yengi is making an early return to Fratton Park after picking up a knock while away with Australia. The 26-year-old has been forced to withdraw from the Socceroos' squad ahead of Tuesday's World Cup qualifier against China, with the Australian camp confirming he sustained the injury during a training session. Word from Down Under suggests Yengi has tweaked his hamstring, though the severity isn't yet clear. He's now heading back to Portsmouth, where the club's medical team will assess the damage. The setback comes after Yengi watched from the bench as Australia cruised to a comfortable 5-1 win over Indonesia on Thursday.
God, international football is trying so hard to push fans away. The news about Yengi came through at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. We should have been wetting our whistle in anticipation of the team news coming out at 2 o'clock and then taking our seats and getting ready for a game. A proper game of football, one that really matters. A championship game with Pompey all to play for. That's where football is. Instead, we had to sit through one of the dullest games of football I've ever seen, which was England versus, was it Albania? Totally meaningless. And then spend a Saturday with nothing to do except watch League One results trickle in and some results from Scottish Lowland League Division 2, for goodness sake. And on top of all of that, there's the fact that Yengi went to Australia 4 months ago, got injured, we couldn't play him, we didn't have him. He then gets fit, but before we can get anything out of him, he goes back to Australia and gets injured again. I mean, who was that journalist who came up with that fabulous phrase? You couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. Now, I bet you a penny to a pound that social media is already, it's now Saturday, you might be listening to this early Sunday, I bet you a penny to a pound that social media isn't already starting to churn with some conspiracy theories along these lines. OK, Yengi wasn't going to start against China. It was unlikely that he'd get anything other than a 10-minute run out if the game was done and dusted. If they desperately needed him, maybe. But the manager may well have just come clean with John Messino and said, we don't think he's going to get a run out. So Messino said, well, can we have him back? Because that way he's going to have longer to get over the jet lag and he might be an availability against Blackburn in what is now a full 7 days. And the manager would have said yes. But we can't say that. We can't release a player from international duty just because their club over in England, and remember, there's no love lost between Australians and the English at the grassroots level anyway. So can we just say that he's suffered a very slight knock? And as a precaution, we're going to send him home. And of course, your medics will work wonders. And he'll be back to match fitness and he might have had a chance to get out on the training ground and sharpen his whole game and you could have him available for your Saturday game against Blackburn. John Messino at the other end. Thanks, mate. Done deal. Aussie manager at the other end. No problem, fella. You don't know, do you? You just don't know.
Kaide Gordon is dropping mild hints that he might be tempted to have a second season at Fratton. Gordon said, I've still got a while left at Liverpool yet, so we'll see. We'll just have to see what happens. There's still a lot of time left this season and you never know what could happen. It's good to be playing championship football, I just needed to get out and play men's football. That's good for myself and I've needed that because I've missed a lot of football beforehand. It's a good experience. It's a big difference from PL2. Everyone who makes that jump at my age can tell that. It's a big difference, but I think I can deal with the physicality. I've just got to get a run of games now. I just need to push on now and make the most of this experience. The gaffer's telling me to be positive and not be shy when I get on the ball.
John Messino likes wide players who can take men on and get the ball into dangerous situations. He likes players who are fast, and he likes players who can beat people and then do something useful when they can look up and see if they can pick somebody out, either short or far post on their head. And if Gordon is able to show that he can do that, and he says that Mousinho is giving him all the licence he needs to take men on and not to worry in the slightest if he loses the ball, but to go back and try again. And that could be just the sort of advice that he's been waiting to hear, take men on. He's getting experience of playing against men who know how to mix it. He's toughening up. He's sharpening up, and perhaps he's gaining in confidence. Now, when was the last time we took on a wide right player who started quietly, but thanks to the careful advice and coaching of John Mousinho and his team, turned into a truly valuable asset? Yeah? You know who I'm talking about. We've had a healthy 3-figure response to our survey, which reads, Alex Robertson might be available for £1 million, yes or no to buying him. At the moment, it's running 62% yes, 38% no. If you'd like to cast your vote, then you need to climb on social media, go to our account, which is Pompey Sound, at Pompey Sound. The basis for the survey is very simple. There's been talk at Cardiff for some time that he might be leaving, and initially it was because Cardiff hoped that they might be able to make a profit, him not really fitting into the new manager's way of seeing things. However, he hasn't been playing. He's had a tweak. It's not the same hamstring injury that laid him low for us, but he is nevertheless carrying an injury and unlikely to play too many games between now and the end of the season, and could be surplus to requirements. And recently, transfermarket.com, which is a very accurate website that deals in players' values and their suitability for other clubs, is suggesting that he could be on his way, but they've valued him at £1 million. And £1 million is something that, bearing in mind recent transfer activity, would not scare the bejesus out of the Eisners. So the question that is being considered by Pompey fans in our survey is, yes or no to Alex Robertson returning to Pompey for a fee of £1 million?